Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here this evening. Thank you, Carlos, for warming up the stage, breaking the ice, doing all of that. That was tremendous work. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to be reading from my collection, Ugly Music, that came out early last year. Thank you. um, it's my baby. It's my first book, so I'm very, very proud of her. Okay. Re-education. I listen to podcasts to learn about feminism. I watch porn to make sure I'm doing it right. I dance on the bar because Coyote Ugly, because these shoes and this drink. I'm almost 30. And I still think Bloody Mary is a game with a mirror. Sometimes she appears at 2 a.m. Sometimes she's in the toilet. Piss reflection before the flush. There's a truth in this magic. The time I took Plan B, then the other time I took Plan B, I bled for 2 months. There could have been a mother in me. And I told no one except the man at Tacos Lupita who asked what I wanted in my burrito, and I think I said, baby. I think I spun around 3 times and whispered a name. And there was no floor when I fell. When a queen flew from my womb, there was glass and napkins and the doctor saying, wake up, wake up. Thank you. Yes, feel free to make noise, snap, clap, ooh, ah, whatever you'd like as the spirit of poetry moves you to do, please do. So this next poem I'll be reading, actually, we're going to be taken to church a little bit. I don't know about y'all, but I always ask my mom very strange and inappropriate questions. Am I the only one who does that? So this poem is about one of those slightly inappropriate questions. Misconception. It was Sunday, and my mother was washing dishes after dinner, scraping gong gong from the bottom of the rice pot, the congeal and crisp of grains left over. She hummed a song from church that day. Si tuvieras fe como un granito de mostaza. She sang out with vibrato, twirled her voice around the notes. The spill of the faucet drowned the rest. Eso lo dice el Señor. Maybe my mother was always drowning. Hands elbow deep in the hem of my pant leg, or the cake batter in the silver KitchenAid mixer. Maybe a Sunday wasn't the day to ask, her hands praising the plates, and my dirty question. Did you enjoy making me? I don't know why I had to know then. Why, in that moment, all I could think about was my father's bristled chest on her naked body and hoping he hadn't hurt her. His weight on her frame, muscled arms around supple skin, that he kissed her mouth like he'd kissed the rim of a beer glass. Drinking her in slowly and sighing after, and I hoped that his hands weren't too tight on her wrists. And if they were, that she liked it, the familiar grip unfamiliar. Maybe my father spoke her name into the darkness. I imagine she called him back into her, spell-dazed with heat and the need to be conjured again, and I thought about my father's lips, pursed like mine, the wet of his cheek the last time I had dinner at his apartment, the soup still simmering in the boil of July, how he topped the bowl with hot sauce and lime. And I licked the spoon, and he ladled more, feeding me seconds, 26 years too late. And my mother, still cleaning up his mess, still saying, "Yes, Bella, I enjoyed it." Thank you. Oh boy, I must be an interesting kid to have. I do thank my mom for dealing with all of my shenanigans and questions. She's all over this book, and almost every poem has mother in it. And when my book came out, she was so excited because she thought, now she could be famous because she was in a book. So. This next poem I'm going to be reading for you is part of this ongoing project that I have. Since I was 9 years old, I've written in diaries, and over the years, I've filled about 36 journals, diaries, and my project that I gave myself was to use those diaries to write new poems, kind of retelling the stories that were already in my diary in a new way. And this particular poem, diary entry number 4, is taken from that fourth diary of mine, language that was collected from it. And this poem actually is a huzzle, so it's diary entry number 4, huzzle. And just a content warning, it is about mental illness. Then I did something I didn't think I could do. Dear God, I thought about suicide, then my algebra homework, and then maybe something else godly. How I was going to fast and pray for a language to explain last Wednesday. I'm no God, but I'm trying to dust off the ashes of the change. I got my period, and I feel less godlike. An unclean romance in my body, how I cupped my hands to catch whatever came. Little bit of God's blood escaping my vagina, or how the idea of cutting a wrist might lead to more goddess. Dr. Rosenblum says I need a counselor, says I am officially broken, that I will pick up a knife to cut the God spell out of me. I tell him there's a mouth in my underwear, wadded with tissue. It sings beautiful things when it's touched. It sings, oh God. Thank you. All right, and I have one last poem for you. So one quirky fact that Malcolm did not share with you is that the last time I saw him, I was actually wearing this shirt, and it was my birthday. So this is my birthday shirt. That was in September. I turned 30 last year, and it was an age that I was very happy to enter. I've been obsessed with turning 30. One of my favorite movies growing up was that movie 13 Going on 30, and how she just like wishes she's 30, and she like wakes up one morning and bam, she's 30. And I felt like, when I'm 30, there's going to be this grand transformation, and I'm here to tell you that There hasn't been one. But my first poem starts with, I'm almost 30. So I wanted to write a poem kind of in homage to that. This would be my last time writing one. So I wrote this one right before my birthday. I'm almost 30 and give a good blowjob, but can't open a bottle of wine without breaking the cork. I'm almost 30, and in my nightmare, all of my exes are meeting for coffee like an unlikely family of missed orgasms, and I want to say, I'm almost 30. And 30 other women and I wait in line to pee at a Backstreet Boys concert. And afterward, we all want the same thing. We all want to fuck a Backstreet Boy tonight. I mean, it's true, right? I'm almost 30, and I'm lost in a funny thing. Like looking so beautiful while the light of the street lamp falls perfectly on my skin, and I've survived. Or how my mother's friend who visited me in the hospital each time is now dying of cancer. While I run in the street, my lover chasing me barefoot because I'm drunk again. So he takes the keys, so he pulls me inside, and I pretend to sleep on the couch, sneak out when I hear him snoring, drive down Main Street with Klonopin and gin in my belly, and my eyes are almost 30. Blurry with unexpected clarity, like when the guest at the restaurant touched my arm as she left, handing me the bill saying, I can't believe you're almost 30. And with a green speck of nori still stuck in her teeth, she smiled, told me I was a good waitress, that my energy was warm. And I cried as I bust the table because I'm almost 30 and I have so much sin left to live. When really, I just want to roll up to every funeral like I own it. Sexy to meet Jesus in a white dress, the runs in my nylons all fixed with nail polish, and I'm almost 30. And the people in this town like to watch the piping plovers on the beach, their orange feet skittering across the shoreline like a joy I don't understand. As if the vastness of the Atlantic wasn't the backdrop. As if the water couldn't claim a tiny body for itself, swallow it whole. Thank you. I'm leaving all my little papers everywhere. Thank you again. You've been a wonderful audience, and I just feel so honored to be here. Something dies in me every month. Today, I screenshot a picture of an internet baby who looks like my ex, sleeping, mouth open, little fist above his head. And it's a tiny poison in my eggs. How we can be allergic to whatever we want. A week in bruises, or when I said sorry to my face, like the time I stopped breathing and a man called me a name. Something less than animal, but more than stone. And all I can say is, I'm trying to be decent. I'm trying to believe in the therapy of sweeping rooms, of sugar on my wrists. Yesterday, I bought fried chicken and orange juice for a homeless man on 6th to make myself needed, and the act conjured a weirdness in me, like wanting to have his baby, and I don't want to be told about the bitches inside me that want out. and want the pleasure of watching my body do things without permission. Maybe I have an awkward courage. Or maybe I've hugged too many grocery bags on walks home and felt the lonely power of feeding myself. No, it's how the moon, it appears, even in the morning. It's a pale thing, drowned in blue sky. Thank you.